Now, the man,
His name is Ed Stilley, and he's still living. He lives in a place called Hog Skull Hollow, Arkansas. And it's a real place. It's a hog scald is a place where they scald the hogs to get the hair off them. And what it is across the street from his house, there's these natural big outcroppings in the rock that are bathtub size, and people would heat up boulders and roll them into the scalds to get the water pretty hot so they could get the hair off the pigs. And so he lives in Hog Skull.
y'all don't do that around here? Is that...
They do it around here?
All the time.
Only on Thursdays.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Full moons.
Yeah, that's all right.
But he raised 5 children totally off the land. Him and his wife Liza, no electricity, no running water. He plowed his fields with a mule.
He reminds me a lot of the Amish folks around here, you know.
He does.
And but in Arkansas, this is quite unusual. And he made hundreds of musical instruments, and we have 2 of them with us. And there's an amazing story behind all this. I visited him for many years, both of us have, we asked him once why he makes instruments, and his answer was fantastic. He's a very religious man. In fact, he's kind of a one-man church. And,
the Church of Ed.
And he said that he had a heart attack when he was all by himself, plowing the field, nobody to help him, and he lay on his back and looked at the sky. And he said he saw, he had a vision where he was a giant tortoise, and his children were little tortoises trying to hold on to him, all 5 of them. And he felt like if he could get across this raging river that he was stuck in, if the Lord was going to deliver him and give him his purpose in life. And so this all happened, and he was told to make instruments for children. And so he just dropped everything. He was about 60 years old. He just stopped everything and started making instruments every single day of the week. And he cranked out hundreds of guitars and fiddles and gave them all to children.
For free. And he had never made an instrument in his life. This is all stuff he found on his land. This is the finest example of folk art we've ever seen, and we are really honored to have these. We visited him for years.
There's more to it than meets the eye. Like, you know, I know there's some guitar players in the room, and it's you might admire the 3-piece back. Except normally they don't nail them together, you know. But it's all different kinds of wood from his property: basswood and oak and walnut, and it's got a door hinge that he found in the holler and a steak bone.
He whittles up the steak or the pork chop from his dinner the night before.
This has got a little bit of meat left on this side. Later on, if you want to lick on that, you can. And you know, and then for the frets, he used brazing rods. And, and inside, springs.
Mine has a chainsaw sprocket inside of it.
And mine has a saw blade.
It's very heavy. I know, it's vibrating.
Still going. And then he always writes this, like I said, he's very religious. It's true faith, true light, have faith in iPod. I mean, God. We decided we wanted to honor that story he told us, and so we tried to put ourselves in his shoes, and we wrote it from his perspective, and it's very it reflects his religious feelings. So it's called "Take Me to the Other Side." And they sound kind of funny, so you might adjust your ears slightly.
They're a little buzzy, of course, and they're a little quiet.
They're never quite in tune.
So they're not quite, but this is for Ed.
Still, what it doesn't have in quality, it makes up for in charm.
That Ozark sun was beating down, dropped my plow to the rocky ground, and the world turned black in a heart attack, and a vision passed before my eyes. Was I dead or alive? Said, Lord, take me to the other side. I became a great tortoise swimming like hell, my 5 little children clinging to my shell, and in a raging river deep and wide, that day I heard the Lord confide, shed your pain, shed your pride, and I'll see you make it to the other side. I knew that moment that my fate was sealed when the Lord told me He'd make me a deal. If if I deliver my children to that shore. He showed me what these hands were for, to build guitars in His name. That's what I'll do until my dying day. So Granny next my son and me, we felled a big old walnut tree, and I sawed that wood up into boards, and I made a guitar for the Lord. And the Lord looked down and smiled when I gave it away to a little child. Pork chop bone, little for a bridge, tailpiece made from a rusty old hinge, lower spring saw blades firing in the middle, lower light sound when them old parts jiggle. Saw frets from a brazen rod, carved on the top, true faith, true light, have faith in God. Would follow, for nearly every child in Hogstall hollered. Oh, but now I'm old and moving slow, but His love still carries me wherever I go. Though I walk with a cane, still I'll rejoice in my Savior's name. And Lord, maybe someday You'll call me again and walk with me to the river's end. Well, I hope you're proud of all I've done. I kept my promises, everyone, and I'll look into your eyes and say, Lord, take me to the other side.